have those problems in our country. And I say, of course not. Ain't nobody there but you. You know? But this is, America is a divine experiment, if you will. It is a divine experiment, and if this thing gets right here, it'll get right everywhere. So this is a divine experiment. I want you to know that, as tough as it is, it's something worthy for us to look at. And so as I began to look at my experience in Southern Africa, I tell people often that, first of all, my husband didn't want me to go, right? We had to deal with that because, he takes and protects the family, and this didn't sound right for me to be going to South Africa. And once that was okay with him, I have to admit, I'm from South Central, and I think that deserves an applause. And while, I am Dr. Leary and Professor Leary at the university, I can become South Central. Okay. I will go there on occasion. So, I'm figuring I got to, have a little bit of a, just a little bit of a attitude when I get to South Africa. After all this new stuff, new president. So I had an attitude, had a little chip on the shoulder. I was ready for something to jump off. I was okay for that. So, and if you want to kind of get a picture of it, it's like when you've had a little run-in with somebody, say at work, on Friday. Maybe you all, just a little exchange in the copy room, just some words, a little flare-up. You know what I'm talking about, and it's Friday. You know how you prepare for Monday, right? You say, well, if they say this is what I'm going to say. And if they go there, oh, hey, so you're all prepared, you're geared up. You can't wait. You can't even sleep during the weekend. You're so geared up for Monday. So Monday happens, you get in the office, your heart is beating. They're walking up on you, you're all ready, and they go, I'm really sorry about Friday. And you're thinking, I'm going to kick the cat or something. I got to do something with this. Well, this is what happened when I got to Southern Africa. When I got there, I was, had the chip ready. And after about a week or so and nothing happening, nothing at all, I started to provoke people. I said, you can't go all the way to South Africa on the heels of Mandela and all that and not have an experience. So I was going to have myself an experience. So I would go up to white South Africans and say, tell me a little bit about the apartheid, new president. That must be something, huh? And they go, yeah. As a matter of fact, Joy, it's been awful. The oppression of the blacks, the behavior of the whites. Glad it's over, though. Welcome to the new South Africa. After about a half dozen people did, I said, I'm going to go to black South Africa. I'm going to ask the black South Africa. I'm going to have me an experience. So I go to black South. Tell me a little bit about, apartheid, Mandela. Tell me a little, that must be something. They said, yeah, Joy. Oppression of the blacks, behavior of the whites. Glad it's over, though. Welcome to the new South Africa. And I'm thinking, isn't anybody upset? Come on now. We got our folks over in Idaho. That's close to where I live. They act up over there. We got them. But I was in palaces. I was in villages. I was all over. 3 or 4 different countries in Southern Africa. And I did not feel the level of animosity that entire trip that measured the level I felt in the Portland airport. So as a social scientist, I have to ask myself, what is going on with this phenomenon? And what is going on is that Southern Africa, South Africa, the country of South Africa, owned it. They couldn't help but own it. They showed out and the whole world looked at them and said, shame on you, South Africa. And South Africa said, yeah, we did it. We're so sorry about it. Please come back and bring your money. America's pathology is her denial. It is what keeps us sick about this issue of race. It is our denial. Now, the denial, it's not just something, it's not a word, because I started to collect data. I have a tendency to do that. I wanted to look at what are the symptomologies. What's the symptomology of the denial? What does it look like? Let me give you some pictures of it. There are 2 groups of people in my experience. That, I have one of my granddaughter out there. Small children tend to tell the truth. And old people tend to tell the truth. I want you to stay with me there, okay? Now, when people say to me, which is often couched in the form of a compliment, Joy, I've grown and advanced so much as a human being. I've evolved clearly beyond you. I don't even notice race. And they'll say that right to you, like, lucky for you, you know. I don't even notice race. And I want to bring that into some context. Like I said, there are two groups of people, small children and old people, that will tell you the truth. Now, anybody that has a small child or a, family member, you're praying to God they don't get in a room like this before you do, aren't you? Because you know they're going to walk up on somebody and tell the truth. And you don't know what that truth is going to be. They might walk up to someone and go, God, you got a booger in your nose. But you got. And then old people don't care what you think. They say, your problem is you're stupid. That's your problem. Don't care what you think, that's it. Now, I want you to imagine, how many people know what a towhead is? I checked with white people on the term. Because a towhead. Now, let me give you an example. I didn't know what a towhead was. I was in South Central, and these two older white ladies were referring to this white child and said, oh, look at the towhead. And I'm thinking, them's fighting words. This getting ready to go down. Nobody got mad. I'm going, okay. And a towhead kid, now when I describe this child, you'll know what I'm talking about because you've seen them. And you almost probably remember the first time you've seen them. The whole kid is blonde. And it's that white, soft blonde everybody trying to get. But it's a phenomenal looking person. They like a wisp, but they're going to wisp away. And tow is also the term used for people who weave linens, and the small little fragments that fall to the floor is called the toe because it's white and it's soft. Okay, so you got that picture now. Towhead. I want you to know there's a towhead. Imagine the towhead kid here, right, standing next to me. Next to the towhead child, we're going to put a Nigerian child. And next to that child, we're going to put a Japanese child. You think you're going to notice. Of course you're going to notice the difference. These are God's choice of colors. And to me, it's insulting, not only untrue, but insulting for you to say you don't notice race. I wake up every day black. I know it. I see myself, and you know what? It's absolutely okay for you to notice. It's not okay for you to erase me. The pathology associated with this statement is such that I'd rather erase you than acknowledge that you're there. And that's not okay. But it's also what we call cognitive dissonance. When people feel uncomfortable, it creates dissonance, and they do things to remove that dissonance. Here's another one. A person, I call this the fruit and festival approach, People say, we want to celebrate diversity. We gave you all a month. That's a good thing. Okay. Great. What are we going to do then? Let's celebrate. Let's get a diversity committee. How about that? Get Maria. Isn't she Mexican? Yeah, get her. And they're getting mean. And let's get a little committee. And how about if we have a potluck? And let's have a theme. Let's have a cultural theme to that potluck. Let's have people bring cultural foods. And then, well, how about music? Let's have some cultural music, and maybe they can even dress up in cultural garb. And then everybody comes and checks off and leaves. And what you've now done is trivialize culture, have you not? You've said, well, this is all they've pretty much, we built this country. Let's be clear. But